quick question. What's the most painful thing you've ever experienced? Childbirth, a broken bone, getting dumped via text, or maybe just stepping barefoot on a Lego? Be honest, that one almost took you out, didn't it? Well, here's the thing. If you're already struggling with Legos, then you're gonna look real weak standing next to Marvel's most stubborn Canadian, Wolverine. Because today, we're comparing how much pain a regular human like you could survive against Logan, the guy who makes paper cuts look like a warm-up. And trust me, you'll want to stick around till the end because we'll stack up Wolverine's most brutal injuries against what would happen to you. And spoiler, it's not pretty. Who is Wolverine really? Alright, before we measure your pain tolerance, let's talk about the man himself. Wolverine is basically three things: claws sharper than your grandma's gossip, a healing factor that regenerates his body faster than you can reload Netflix, and an adamantium skeleton, which means his bones are coated in metal tougher than anything you'll find at Home Depot. But here's the fun fact: Wolverine doesn't skip pain. He feels all of it. He just deals with it. Imagine biting your tongue but multiplied by 100. That's Tuesday for Logan. Meanwhile, we cry when the dentist asks us to open a little wider. How pain works for us mortals, so let's bring it back to you. How much pain can a normal human handle? We've got two settings in our bodies: pain threshold, which is the moment you first notice pain, and pain tolerance, which is how much pain you can stand before you tap out. For most people, it doesn't take much. Childbirth is off the charts. Passing a kidney stone is one of the worst possible pains. Stepping on a Lego instantly makes you rethink your entire life. And here's the kicker: if the pain gets too intense, your body just says, nope, and you black out. It's like your built-in emergency exit. Wolverine, his body never lets him black out. He stays awake through everything, which, let's be honest, sounds awful. Sometimes fainting is the blessing. Gunshots, stabbings, and bones snapping like breadsticks. Now let's compare. If you get shot, you're screaming, waiting for an ambulance, and spending weeks in bed. Wolverine just gets annoyed that he has to buy a new shirt. If you break a bone, you're stuck in a cast for months. Wolverine heals before you even finish tying your shoelaces. If you get burned, you're scarred for life. Wolverine heals while still smelling like barbecue. This is why Logan's comic book nickname is basically the world's most tortured man. He's been burned alive, drowned, exploded, and even had his entire skeleton ripped out of his body more than once. Meanwhile, if you burn your tongue on hot pizza rolls, that's your entire personality for 3 days. How his healing actually works? Okay. Science break. How does he do it? Most comic fans and some scientists speculate Wolverine's healing factor works like super stem cells, constantly rebuilding damaged tissue, rapid nerve recovery so he doesn't short-circuit from shock, and the super immune system so no infection can touch him. If humans had this ability, we could survive car crashes, major surgeries, even aging. But here's the catch: you'd still feel every single bit of pain before healing. Imagine surviving a shark bite but remembering the pain of every tooth forever. No wonder Logan's grumpy all the time. Can you survive Wolverine's injuries? Let's play a little game. I'll give you a Wolverine-level injury, and you tell me how long you'd last. If you were burned alive, Wolverine would be mad but fine, while you would literally be toast. If all your bones were shattered, Wolverine would be a little crunchy for a few minutes, then good as new, while you'd just be a human maraca. If you were electrocuted, Wolverine would be standing there with his hair sticking up while his heart restarted instantly, and you would sound like a Wi-Fi router resetting. If his skeleton got ripped out, Wolverine would scream and then heal, while you wouldn't even get the chance to scream. If Wolverine were real, now imagine Logan in real life, in hospitals. He'd be useless. By the time the nurse pulled up his chart, his wounds would already be gone on fear factor. He'd eat scorpions for breakfast and ask for dessert. In the UFC, fighters would tap out before even punching him because it's just unfair. Meanwhile, regular people like us are bragging on Instagram about surviving a paper cut at work. The big question, would you even want this? And here's the twist nobody talks about. Would you actually want Wolverine's pain tolerance? Sure, you'd survive anything, but you'd also feel everything. Every bullet, every knife, every fire. You'd walk away healed, but with all the memories of agony stacked on top of each other. That's why Logan's always angry. It's not just his clothes, it's centuries of trauma bottled up. Immortality with endless pain doesn't sound so fun when you think about it. So maybe us fragile humans aren't so unlucky. Pain tells us when to stop, when to rest, when to heal, and sometimes passing out is a gift. Conclusion: you're not Wolverine, and that's okay. So, how much pain could you survive compared to Wolverine? Honestly, almost none. You'd be gone before Logan even started complaining. But here's the thing, humans are resilient. We've survived diseases, disasters, heartbreaks, TikTok dances, things even Wolverine would struggle with. So next time you stub your toe, don't feel weak. Remember, you're not Wolverine, and that might actually be a good thing. Question if you had Wolverine's healing factor: what's the first crazy stunt you'd try? Jump off a building? Stick your hand in lava? Finally, eat that questionable gas station sushi? Drop your answers in the comments. I want to see just how many of you would instantly do something reckless. And if you enjoyed this video, smash that like button harder than Wolverine smashing through a steel door. Subscribe for more fun science meets comics breakdowns, and I'll catch you next time. Until then, stay safe, avoid Legos, and remember, you're tougher than you think, just not that tough.